Good evening, everyone. This is DieselD199 speaking. It certainly has been a while, but welcome to my live stream in which I'm going to be building some layouts or rebuilding some layouts. Some of the layouts that you would have seen in some of my earlier shorts back when I used to actually film things instead of doing everything in the computer. Well, we'll get to at least one layout, and if that all goes well, maybe we'll keep moving backwards in time. This is a live stream that I decided to do really only a couple of days ago. Something I've always been asked to do is to show sort of layout photos, particularly of the last layout that I had before I switched to CGI. And honestly, that layout, I do have some overhead pictures, but they're not really good quality, and I always kind of wanted to rebuild that set in CGI and then sort of do like a 360-degree tour video of it. And I'm still thinking about doing that, but I figured, well, before I can make a video on that set, I've got to actually build the set in the computer. And I thought that might actually be an interesting live stream. And given that I haven't really done anything this year, and we'll talk about that, I guess, for those of you who didn't catch the last live stream, I figured, I could do that on stream. I'd actually come across a really good plugin called Snap for Blender, which allows you to join bits of track together in a really sort of cool way. So like you see how it all snaps together nicely like that. So it should be a pretty cruisy live stream, and thanks to this plugin, I actually made a plugin similar to this for myself many years ago now. It was designed for Blender 2.79, and then they sort of changed some things, and I've never bothered to really update those old add-ons. And this one is more fully featured anyway, so I think it'll work quite a bit better. Before we get started, so you can see these are all the pieces that we have to work with. Some of these pieces are not quite final, so you'll see like these sort of curved turnouts here and the double turnout here. I've just sort of thrown a few pieces together to sort of represent those pieces. I haven't actually made them. And there's a couple of other bits that would have been used on these sets that I don't actually have anything to represent, but I think it'll be fine. And yeah, we should be able to put together the layout reasonably easy, I hope. One of the things that you'll probably notice, and we'll see when we get to the end, is that when you sort of build a layout in real life, you can kind of make things like stretch and force them to fit together and that sort of thing. And it's not necessarily something that's possible to do in the computer, or it is possible to do it in the computer, but not with this sort of precise snapping and measurement still. So there might be a few little gaps in parts of the layout where things don't quite line up the way that they should. But yeah, so I'll try and answer some questions in the chat as we go. I'm not the best at being able to sort of do multiple things at once. So, look, just take it easy on me if I don't see, your question. The main thing is to focus on the actual building of the layout. I will try and gauge as best I can, but I do remember when I did a live stream a couple months ago, someone was like really angry. It's like, oh, why aren't you answering my questions? And it's like, well, because I can't really do two things at once. So yeah, I'll just take a look at the chat before we get started, and there's obviously some questions. Although, did you hear about Tom Explosive's stack news? And of course, there's talking about the Project Tiger Moth, which came out recently, and I'm sure we can get to all that. The main question which people will ask is, when is there going to be another short? I really can't say on that subject. I'll try and talk about it a little bit, but I'm just not quite as motivated to work on that sort of stuff like I used to be. I certainly wish that I had the time and the motivation to do it, but it's just not really where I'm at the moment. But I hopefully we'll have a fun live stream tonight, and I'm hoping I should be able to put together a 360-degree video on this set. But I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope everyone is looking forward to Christmas, you know, is in a good mood for the holidays. I saw someone say, was it Australian who said it earlier? Yeah, something about happy summer. I did see someone said that. Yeah, happy summer's greetings, everyone. So it is, as of a couple of days ago, it's now summer here in Australia and in the Southern Hemisphere. It starts on December 1st officially. So, you know, it's always a weird thing when you sort of explain to people in the Northern Hemisphere that my memories of Christmas as a kid are lying in my bed in the heat of the day without air conditioning in like boxer shorts, like absolutely sweating because it was that hot. It's really different from, I guess, the image in the Northern Hemisphere of, you know, huddling up because it's, you know, it's cold, it's snowing outside and sitting around a campfire, sitting around the fireplace and drinking hot cocoa. So, all right. Oh, LMAO, no snow. Well, I suppose it depends where you are. I guess if you're in like Florida or Los Angeles or somewhere like that, you're not getting much snow. I do know that like it's pretty rare. It used to be for like say London even to get snow at Christmas, to have a white Christmas. But yeah, all right. So let's get started here by just throwing down some of the pieces. So the main thing that I'm going to put down is like Knapford Station, just as our sort of like 0-0 on this set. So we're making the last layout that I had before I switched to CGI, and this is a 5 meter by 5 meter square. The actual room I built it in was about 4 by 3 meters, I think. But anyway, I'm gonna throw this over, and I think I really want it to be like a multiple of 6 because there's 6 centimeters between each piece of track, and so if we kind of stick to that grid, it should help work things out better. So if I do like 6 times, let's see, maybe 24, no, 32, yeah, let's just go 36. Put that over there. Now, what is the actual gap between these two? That's an interesting question. It will be something 21 point, no, 75 times. Now I've got to try and remember what that gap should be. Oh, did I actually? Probably should have duplicated that before I moved it. It should. I just want to get this set up first properly. Why is it 16.75? The gap between those two. Oh, it's going to be 10.75 plus 6 is what it is. There we go. So a standard straight length of track in play rail terms is 21.5 centimeters long. At least that's how I've measured it. And the standard gap between two pieces of track is 6 centimeters. And in areas like this where you have an extra wide gap, that's actually 10.75 centimeters, which is also, coincidentally, the length of half a straight track. So now I'm just checking, and yes, absolutely, these bits of track, that these are orientated correctly, and that we've got this, you know, the female, I guess, connector facing that way. So, opinions on Formula One. I have no opinions on Formula One. I don't watch Formula One. So if we go link and snap, snap. Is this not set up correctly? Come on. Oh, it's not. Wait, what? Ah, okay, that's a little concerning. I've lost half the snap points. 1 second. I will just find. Of course, there's always going to be something to stuff me around. As soon as I try and get going, half the snap points are gone. So let me see if this one is correct. This one is correct. Okay. All right. So let me just delete this hierarchy, and I'm just gonna open this up here and actually I didn't want to delete the whole hierarchy, just all the track. So let me hide, move the sun into the scene collection, and the ground into the scene collection. Then we can delete that hierarchy. And then I'm just gonna go into file browser. Info? Nope. One second. There's always got to be some amount of troubleshooting on a DieselD199 live stream. Otherwise, it's not a real DieselD199 live stream. It's every time. But fortunately, I have found. We're just going to open this and go collection. Which collection is it? Okay. So when I added the remaining attach points, I did it in the wrong file, apparently. But that's okay, because I'm just going to import them all now. Okay. Let's switch Blender back open, and let's go. Let's try again. Let's try again, shall we? Okay, so let's just go link and snap. Oh, actually, I don't need to link that. So 6 times, what did I do before? Like 36. And then 175 plus 6. And all right, so now we can get going. Hopefully everything's gonna work. There we go. So we're just gonna start putting in pieces, really. It's as simple as that. I've got some reference images open. I won't spoil what we're doing here. You'll get to see the full layout at the end. We're gonna need one of these, and I think that is the right orientation. Yep, that's right. And so you can, now actually what I want to do is put that there, and then I think if I go rotate B, yep, there we go. You see, this works quite well, this little plugin, and it's really fun to sort of like build out a layout with it. Yeah, I really enjoy using it. Now I want to take this one, snap, and how do I actually, and rotate it around D. There we go. And snap here, and then 6. Ah, now actually I've done that wrong. Oh, it needs to go over there. Unfortunately, the gigantic Thomas is not going to be there because he hasn't been modeled. But this is the set. This is where he destroys Knapford, terrorizes Henry. Will you use the narrow gauge engines more? Probably not. The thing about the narrow gauge engines is, like, first and foremost, I'd have to make multiple characters just to do one short. Look, I know that a lot of people love the narrow gauge characters, but you know, a little secret, I don't. I don't care about them all that much. I much prefer the standard gauge characters. That's always been true of me. I know a lot of people, especially people my age in particular, who really grew up with Season 4, absolutely love the narrow gauge characters. But for me, I have never been that into them. You know, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Skarloey Railway is a lovely little railway, and you know, a lot of the stories are quite nice, and I really like Duncan. But narrow gauge is not my thing. If you want narrow gauge, you gotta go to Sidekick Jason, Enterprising Engine 93. Those are the narrow gauge people. Do I like Digimodel props like signals. I do have signals, and so we can probably throw some of them in towards the end. Do you like All Engines Go? So I think you guys would all know that I do not like All Engines Go. It is look, my genuine opinion about All Engines Go is that if it was any other children's television show, like it was just a fun children's TV show about trains, and I saw it, I'd look at it and I'd think, it's kind of cute, right? That's my honest opinion. It's kind of cute. It seems like it's a nice kid show. I'm sure the kids like it. In fact, I know kids that like it. But for me personally, I can't just sort of review it as just some other kid show, because it's not, right? It is the current iteration of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. And in my opinion, it's not a good iteration of Thomas and Friends. What's going on there? It doesn't really represent the brand that I believe Thomas should, in the way that I think Thomas should be represented at all. So that's genuinely my opinion about it. And there's not really that much more that I can say. No, is that? Yeah, that looks like it is. So we're just building out Knapford here and the area immediately forward Knapford. What's going on here? Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's a slope track. I wanted to put in these double straight tracks here. And I believe that is double straight there. Yeah, it should be. How many layouts did you have? I thought you made a new layout for each short. Also, do the narrow gauge engines on the layout? And will there be a mini Vickerstown? So there was definitely a stage where I was doing a layout for each short, like, you know, like just the sheds or just a yard or something like that. And those aren't the kind of layouts that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about like my full layouts that have like Tidmouth Sheds and Knapford Station, other stations, Gordon's Hill and all that sort of stuff, you know. Were there any custom TOMY tracks you made in the animation? There definitely are, like the triple curve and things like that, but because we're basing this on real life layouts, there's not really any reason to include those pieces in this. There's also a version of this where the connectors are inverted. Will you remake any older shorts like Easter Eye Opener? I've often said that if I was going to remake a short, it would probably be... Now, actually, how are we gonna rotate this? Hey, look, there it goes. Subtract. Go. So there were these girders here, which signals were on, and I add the signals later. It would probably be the Slender engine one, the original. Because it would be simple enough to do, give me an excuse to make Tidmouth Sheds, and I think it would really sort of benefit from being done in CGI, honestly. It wouldn't be something like, you know, Trick or Treat, which just has a huge cast of characters that I could never possibly model. Will you show this layout in the next video? I mean, I hope I'll be able to do like a 360-degree video on this layout. Will you ever remake Please Santa Visit Me? I would love to remake Please Santa Visit Me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I would love to get Nathan to Upside Down to like redo all the music properly, and for me to... I think I'm a bit of a better singer since when I did it first. And on top of that, I would also love to be able to do it like lip sync and all the cool stuff I could do with animation. Actually, working on Please Santa Visit Me was one of the things that really motivated me to switch to CGI, in all honesty, because I mean, it was, you know, it was a music video and there was a lot of dynamic stuff that I wanted to do with it as a music video. Now I think this is how this is supposed to go. 5, 6, there we go. So now we are right up to the base of Gordon's Hill. And we can start to go up a bit. If it will work. Okay, so snap. Where is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, right. That makes it a little bit more difficult. So I kind of have to do it like this. If there's one thing about this plugin is that it does have difficulty when it's dealing with snap points that are on a different vertical axis. They have to be sort of like close together in order for it to work properly. So I am just going to, because I know how long these are, and I also know how high up they are, so they need to go up by 6.6 centimeters. And actually, we are getting quite close to going off the edge of the map here, but that's okay. We get to the top of Gordon's Hill, and I can't actually see what comes next after that image. Yeah, okay. Just two curves, pretty simple. Shift, and then we're gonna go Z and go, what is it, it's like 13.2. And we'll just go into the snap mode, and if I do that there, perfect. Go. And then straight down the other side. If I see, oh no, that's not gonna work. All right. Snap, is that? So you can actually see we are going up here. Is that all connected up properly? Yeah, it seems to be. Okay. Let's just take a look at that. Oh, thank you, Engine Shed Studios, who says using the double track girders for signal gantries was really clever. I do like to think of myself as being a little bit clever. If you make Tommy Oliver in CGI, will you give him additional details, or will you leave him exactly the same as the model? Thomas 1651 asks that. So I've sort of like thought about how I wanted to do that, and I'm not entirely sure. Because I know that I certainly know that like Oliver, a lot of people would like him to be sort of different. I don't really know the answer to that question. I'd probably make him as he was, but maybe I'd consider doing something different. Okay, you know, because I do make some modifications to the engines, but I have never done anything as drastic as like completely reconfigure the wheel arrangement, if you get what I mean. And I do like to kind of stick true to what the original models look like to some extent. Well, you see Thomas Theorist, who says that, you know, he prefers all the shorts on the layout and he thinks the limitations give it its charm. Frankly, for a long time, I've toyed with the idea of making one whole layout, right? But obviously it would fit in the biggest, you know, but like a really awesome layout. It wouldn't be full-scale Sodor, right? Like you'd be able to see Tidmouth sheds from Knapford Station, but it'd be a lot bigger than I could ever actually make in real life, you know? So like, maybe you could imagine it being like 4 times as big as the actual layout we're building now, maybe 5 times, something like that. We've got to flip these. Oops. Okay, no. Rotate B. There we go. I think that would be something that's really cool to do. What's better, A Bug's Life or Ants? Honestly, I think as a kid I always preferred Bug's Life, but I have not watched either of those movies in a long time. Now, the thing that I just wanted to say is I am not sure how many pieces are involved in this next straight section of track. So what I'm just going to do is cheekily go back to, say, 2014 maybe? Where would I have seen? Okay, there is a shot of Gordon coming down the hill. In which year did I make that? What was it even called? It was like an adaptation of that Railway series story, which now, of course, because I'm looking for it, the name completely escapes me. I think it might have even been a 2013 thing. Which Railway series story did I adapt? I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. So this is what happens when I'm sort of like under the gun, like I'm under the pressure. It's like, oh, now I have to remember something. I suddenly cannot do it. Gordon Goes Foreign is what it was. Yeah, of course. Duh. All right, I could have not remember that. So there is a clip where Gordon comes down the hill, and I think I'll be able to see how many straight bits of track were there, or okay, I'm just opening it up now. Okay, so I know that there's going to be at least 2 lengths of double track here. If we just go up to here. So there's at least that much, and maybe I'll just take a look at what's it called, Trick or Treat, because there's the scene where Henry is up on this section of track. So this is the section of track with, what was it? It was supposed to be Marin Station, and it was with like 2 TOMY bits of track. There would definitely be here. Oh, there's a lot of images in this short, obviously, because it was so freaking long. Still, honestly, one of my favorite shorts. So I reckon there is probably 1 more straight here before we get to Vickerstown Bridge. Probably the Sodor Suspension Bridge, not Vickerstown Bridge. If this stuff will load, I'll be able to verify it a bit more, but be all the Henry stuff. Does anyone know if one of the shots, like this station here, I had like an above shot? It's really just getting the track number right. Like obviously I know what the general layout is, but we can always sort of adjust it later, I suppose, if I get it wrong. Oh yeah, here's an above shot from the trucks, but it's not that wide. All right, I'm gonna hazard a guess and say that I think it is just 1 extra straight and then the. Let's see. Whoops. Pacific Productions donates $5. Any favorite video games? I've been playing No Man's Sky a bit more, and it's a good single player experience, even with, I assume you mean even without the multiplayer. So I've actually been playing a new video game recently, which is double straight track there, which is called Grounded. I've only played a little bit of it, but I've been really enjoying it so far. The premise of the game is that you are you're like shrunk down. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and you're like exploring a backyard, and you've got to like survive and gather materials and fight off bugs and stuff like that. It's a really fun game. Another game I've been playing a lot recently is Phasmophobia, which is a game where like you go in with a team and you have to like detect ghosts. Another really fun game. I think maybe if I look in please send a visit me, maybe I'll find some shots in there. I really do. Oh wait, which year did I do please? Oh, it was 2014. I really do wish I took better photos of this set. I don't know what happened. I think it was because of like the TCC and all that sort of stuff happened at the time when I sort of dismantled it. I didn't really get the kind of photos that I should have. Yeah, okay. I've definitely got some frames here, but you're gonna do a Henry's Tender Explode short. Yeah, that might be funny to do. I'm doing well, William. How are you doing? there's one there. Yeah, I think. Look, I'm just gonna say that there's one extra bit of straight track there. So let's just Shift D, put that over there. Let's go up. Yeah, sorry, I'm sort of like bumming around, just being like, yeah, I don't really know which piece there is there. So what I'll do next is just go 21.5, and then we'll grab one of these, snap it. Is this gonna snap? There we go. And then let's rotate it around D. Nope. Let's flip it on the D. There we go. So this marks the start of the suspension bridge. On this. 5, and if we link and snap that, and of course, as you guys will remember, oh, that's weird. Flip on B. As you guys will remember, I had a custom suspension bridge, a very crappy custom, honestly. I can't believe I sawed up my 2 suspension bridges. I never would have done that today, but that's what I did back then. So. Negative. So there you go. That's the suspension bridge here. Oh yeah, Phasmophobia. This is Pacific Productions. I played that one a lot with friends. It's even VR compatible too, which is so fun. Every time the ghost kills me, I like to screw around with the other players. Yeah, I wish you could screw around with the other players more, and I would love to give it a go in VR. I think VR is something that I need to get into next year. I think there's got to be... My Christmas present to myself should be a VR set, but actually before that, I've got to buy a new gaming PC anyway. So the true tale of Timothy, Tamir, is like, obviously it was a horror story, and Timothy did succeed in sort of killing all the passengers, right? That's the true story. But you know, I was trying to make my content kind of kid friendly at the time, so I didn't really want to you know, kill a whole bunch of people in my video. Oh wait, do I not have this section of track at all? Oh no, there it is. Yeah, okay. So is there a bit of straight track at the end? I don't think there is. I am going to put... So let's snap that there, and then go... Is that correct? Yes, it is. I am going to also select all of this. Actually, I do... First thing I need to do is click save, in case this crashes. Disable the visibility on the stuff, because I know that sort of makes it times... Well, if I do that, that's fine. Okay, we're now off the edge of the set now. Alrighty-o. If you ever want to buy a VR headset, says Pacific Productions, my recommendation would be the Valve Index. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Yeah, you know, it occurs to me that I have no idea what is going on in... Oh wait, what's going on here? Snap? Huh? Why is this not snapping? Oh. I have no idea what's going on in the VR games market. I have no clue at all. I remember when like VR was new and it was like a big thing, and the Oculus Rift was obviously like the first one to come along, but yeah, I don't really know what's going on. My favorite Thomas and Friends movie is pretty boring. It's The Adventure Begins, maybe Legend of Lost Treasure next. Fan of Thomas31, I absolutely did make an automated script to help connect the pieces together, but I never updated it for the latest version of Blender, and this plugin called Snap, which I bought off the Blender market because it was like $30 US or something. It was super cheap. It's way better. It's got way more features, and I've already started messaging the developer saying, "Oh, can you please add these features to it?" To be fair, Daniel the Shunter, being kid-friendly didn't backfire on me. Because the fact that I'm using Thomas and Friends characters, even if it had been less kid-friendly, like, it would make no difference. My videos would still be marked as made for kids. It's just an inescapable thing, right? Like, just Thomas and Friends is fundamentally considered a preschool brand, and it doesn't matter if you make it mature, your videos mature or not, they will get marked as made for kids. It's just the way that it is. You know, it's been nearly 3 years now. The FCC said that they were going to review the copper rule, and I don't think that they have. And even if they do, I don't think it will really change anything. I think that kids' content on YouTube is well and truly stuffed. Which is sad, but, you know, that's sort of the way it is. Now, I know Diesel's Ducks and Demons. If I go and open the images for this, there's a nice aerial shot of Rusty sitting here, which makes me think we've just basically got some bits of double straight track here. There'll be a little bit of like sort of figuring this all out, I am sure. Wait a minute. Oh no, yeah, that makes sense. No. There we go. Yeah, so based on that and based on this, I think there's just going to be a whole bunch of double straight tracks. I mean, that definitely looks like... Yeah, I think basically the way it goes here is... Technically, this is a single straight, and then those, you know, those stopper switches, but I don't have them. And then it looks like I'll probably check this off against something else. I think another one here. How are we looking? This was supposed to be like Croven's Gate, and then like Henry's Tunnel, and all that sort of stuff, but you know, stuff was just never finished the way I never completed this set the way that I wanted to. Even in CGI, I was never that good at set design. It's just not something that, you know, I always wanted to do sort of the story with the characters and spending a lot of time on scenery. I really should have just let other people make scenery props for me. I think the videos would have been much better, but you know, you live and learn. Now, how do I need to get some reference for how I did Vickerstown here, because we're getting up to Vickerstown, so Troublesome Trucks should be some images of what the track layout was there, I hope. No, not really. There is some stuff with Gordon here in Trick or Treat. I know that much. Sort of weird to go back and try and decipher your own set. This is originals, yeah. Yeah, those shots of Gordon. Or if there is none with Gordon, because it was that bit of video with Stanley. Oh, okay. I mean, I could swear that I had actually done a better job of this, but... Who's my favorite engine? Asks Thomas Engine 165. Probably James. James, Diesel 10, Duncan are my all-time favorites. Honestly. I don't think YouTube's going to get competition from Twitter, Thomas Theorist. And also, this layout wasn't really inspired by Percy Engine 619. I didn't need layout inspiration. Back in the day, you just sat on the floor and you just made the layout, right? You know, like I always enjoyed building the layouts, not doing all the scenery though. I never finished that model of Duck Farquhar, but I might do. Maybe that would be a nice Christmas gift. The Amazing Gamer 111 says, just want to say that if it wasn't for your inspiring Tomica series, I wouldn't be building up a Playrail collection for my own TT series. Thanks for the incredible memories and inspiration. Oh, that's really sweet. You're welcome, Amazing Gamer. Daniel, I haven't watched it yet, so no spoilers, but I am planning on watching it. Okay, so there is this shot of Gordon here at Vickerstown. No, it's not really. Okay, let's just, because this is all a bit of a mess over here, let's go back over to the yard and see what we can figure out from here. Because that I do have much better pictures of. Okay. Even that I'm sort of struggling. It's also because these pictures were not that great. That's, yeah. Infuriatingly. Okay, so let's go Lincoln Snap. If you think I've made a mistake anywhere, by all means tell me, and if you've got good references from some of my videos, that would also be good. But otherwise, I'm just going to sort of wing it. Now, I think what's going on here, based on this very blurry image, is this. So we've got those two pieces. And then what we've got is, I'm guessing, whichever one's going to connect up with this. So link and snap, and so flip on, if I rotate on F, that works, yeah. And then over in the corner, there was some little shed thing going on. This is some curves here, so link and snap that. Flip on, or rotate on A, link and snap. Ta-da. We're now getting into the yard era. So what is coming next on this line is actually the coal hopper. Now I believe the coal hopper is, I want to say it's 1.5 track lengths long. So we can just represent it with this. If someone wants to get out their own coal hopper and confirm that for me, that'd be great. And then we are coming up to Tidmouth Sheds. So I want to do this. And yeah, it was that one, Lincoln Snap, that one there. And so Tidmouth Sheds is here. I don't have the turntable, sorry guys, so I can't really put that in. Farquhar, I feel like a resurgence of Slender Engine content would be much cooler than the constant flow of Timothy content. On the contrary, I think that we just need another creepypasta for the fandom to get excited about. Slender is so dated now. You know, it's like a 10-year-old thing. I thought about like doing a parody of like Siren Head, you know, whistle, I don't know, Whistle Face or something like that, you know. Maybe someone else will come up with something fun. Can we finally see the video of Thomas running down to Topham Hatt? I've been waiting so long. Wow, maybe I should do that in CGI. That would be a fun video. You're going to make a turntable for the sheds? Well, not in this video, but maybe. Did you see Project Tiger Moth yet? So yes, I have seen that, absolutely. My thoughts on it, I mean, obviously it's a fantastic achievement for everyone who worked on it. I really admire what the guys have been able to do. You know, I've been waiting, I have to say, I have been waiting for many years now, ever since people started making Gauge 1 models for someone to do something like this. It's interesting that we're kind of at the point where I feel the bar can no longer be pushed in this fandom or raised in this fandom by like any one individual. It's always got to be like a group of people coming together now. And you know, it is great to see what they have been able to achieve, and I really do think it's a fantastic thing. You know, like my only quibble is I hate that they've put this VHS look over the top of it. I know why they've done it, but really, even the guys who worked on it Like they're like 20 or something like that. Like they wouldn't have grown up with VHS. They would have grown up. They would have been DVD kids. So you know, I'd rather just see. I have a very like sort of strong opinion about the way in which like the model era of Thomas ought to be viewed, right? Because a lot of people, they want to sort of go out of their way to sort of capture that VHS nostalgia look, I guess. But the fact of the matter is that even though it was mastered on Betamax, Thomas and Friends, for the first 7 seasons, was filmed on 35mm film, right? There was no reason to do that. They could have filmed on 16mm, and that would have been fine. Even 8mm. 8mm would have been a little bit crappy, but 16mm they could have done fine. They could have filmed it on videotape, but they didn't. They filmed it on 35mm, right? And that was the way that I believe that Mitten wanted his creation to be experienced. Not on VHS, not in old standard definition TV, but on 35mm film, right? And like, obviously, we can't all like go to a theater and watch Thomas on 35mm film, but like, I believe that they should rescan all of the original episodes at least 2K, right? Like, and hopefully without some of the goofs that were done in the original restorations. I think that's the way that he would really want to. He'd want his stuff to be viewed, in my opinion. In my opinion. I get why everyone else, there are the people that are like, yeah, you know, like I want the VHS look, but I don't really agree with that. All right, so yeah, again, it gets really sort of complicated here. I don't have great photo reference. You know what might be good for this? Remember Thomas HD Classic? Yeah, can they make a comeback? I'd really like for that to be the case. Oh, this is actually, I think I've found there's a couple of bits of video from we've got one. Yeah, so that we've got at least 3 triple straights over here. That's definitely the way it goes, because I'm just looking at this bit of video of like actually, I think it was like this supposed to be the zoom in for the Slender engine appearing on that section of the set. And there's also some stuff for here in the yard, obviously for the very ending. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to. Okay, yes, this is good. This is good. I can sort of tell what's going on here. So there is 2 double straights here. So if we just go link and snap for this bit of track, -43, which is the, oh wait, no, there's 2 double straights, and then that leads into a, what I like to call an H point or H turnout, just because it looks like a sort of kind of looks like a lowercase h. And then it looks like a straight bit of track goes there, and then another H turnout, whoops, goes there, and it looks like, to me, there's a straight bit of track there, and then there's 2 straight bits of track. And that would all make sense, that all fits in, and can snap, that over there. Right, now if I zoom in all the way over there, I'm gonna say, what we've got here is, whoops. The actual way that I'm able to sort of like judge how long the straight bit is like the number of like little notches inside. There's those little cylinders, which I never included on my models. -40, whoops. -43, there we go. And then there is an N set of points, what I call an N set of points because it looks like a capital N. I don't know what the technical term for these is, but what I like to call it. That sort of goes from that one on over to that one. So if we rotate on on A and then snap to here. There we go. I think that's the way it's supposed to go. Ah, actually I've done that wrong. It is supposed to be over here. And this actually looks way more cozy than what it looked like on the actual layout. But what it is, oh, that's upside down. That's a little silly. Rotate A, there we go. So it's a straight bit of track, and then it is that. Yeah, that looks about right. And then we put in another set of buffers there. Rather complicated yard arrangement here. Two trains going across here are definitely gonna hit each other. This is not suitable for real life operation, unless you just sort of blatantly force the track apart a little bit. Now that actually looks like a half straight there, which is okay. Well, that's what I had. I've got to do something about this. I think maybe I have to invert the. I'll quickly open the chat just to make sure I'm not missing too much. Do you still have unedited shots from your model era? Absolutely. In fact, like if you go back to something as far back as emo engines, I have all the unedited shots. I don't have the edits. So for the really early stuff, I would keep all the original photographs and the original video, but then like the crappy GIMP edits that I would do in GIMP, I didn't keep those for some reason. The engine wash was here in this area. Yes, the engine wash is here in this area. And in fact, you have made me realize now, I think what happened here is the engine wash, was that added later? Because I don't think it was in that. Oh, okay, no, I just didn't see it. So yes, the engine wash is in this area. This is wrong. That's not supposed to be that. What is supposed to be is this. And then there is a half straight here. Now the engine wash, I believe, is only a single straight long. I believe it's only a single straight long. And then in all likelihood, there was like a, I'm going to say there was probably this. Let me just check. Oh no, okay, so it was even smaller than that. What it was is it was a quarter straight here. And then if we go link and snap and put that there, flip A, rotate A, there we go. So this is technically the engine wash here. That interesting little, technically it would be a coach wash because you can't really put steam engines through an engine wash unless they're like Neville. And actually, I can see in this photo some more of this track here. So, and we're going to start running into our bits of track here. If we go link and snap and put that one there, rotate it on A, and then we want a straight bit of track. Oops, snap. And I guess what I'll do, just select all of this. Go negative 43, no, 43 times 2. Put that up there for now. Link and snap. Rotate A. Can snap. It goes there. And then we've got a tunnel here. This is where Farquhar is. This is Farquhar Station. Right there, that bit there. Now. I think I know what to look at for that. We've just got to get this end of the yard finished, and then it goes over to docks. Will you ever remake this layout but like 30% bigger on a bigger scale? For example, bigger Knapford, bigger yards, bridge, etc. Well, as I was saying, I would like to do like a huge, maybe say like a set like say 4 times as big as this, 5 times as big as this, and it would probably loop around. Will you do behind the scenes of CGI animation? Well, this is giving you part of the behind the scenes. I don't know if I'd go for a fully fledged CGI video, because like the process for all CGI is largely the same. You know, you can watch how Pixar movies are made, and it's the workflow isn't that different. Did the TTE community channel become TCC? Not really. I think the TT community sort of served as a bit of an inspiration for the TCC, but was it intentional to have Timothy's Sheds or Thomas's branch line like how it was on the Island of Sodor intro? No, I think it was just a matter of like just trying to fit locations on a map. Like the plan for this map is pretty simple, right? We want to have a double track main line that is one circuit, right? Then we have Thomas's branch line, which is a single track circuit. We have a narrow gauge circuit over here, which is single track. And then we have this tertiary line that like goes through the quarry, goes through Vickerstown and comes back and all joins up around about here. That's, you know, so you've got basically 5 loops on this layer, and that's really the plan. And the idea was that there would be big sections for me to sit to do the filming and to have the lights in. What did you use for the coal that Thomas got covered in? Those are garden pebbles. You can get them at like, you know, any gardening store or hardware store. All right, I just need to... All right, so I'm not watching the chat right now. I'm just going to very quickly figure out how exactly this dock ends. And to do that, I wanted to look at... When I did the Pop Goes the Diesel for the TT community, I know that I took a picture in the yard, and unfortunately it doesn't really help me. Maybe, let me see. So if that's there like that. Oh, really? Come on. The way this looks... Wait. I'm trying... There's that set of points there. And then... But how? What it looks like has happened here is that... Let me just see what I can do here. I think what is happening here is that we've got this over here and it connects. No, it doesn't even, that bit of track doesn't even go there. This really doesn't make sense. I know that there is one of these here and that these all sort of connect into it. It's not going to properly work on this because if I just snap this to here, you oh, great. Rotate around C. Don't know. You can see how this doesn't actually connect properly, but. Yeah. It does get a little bit fuzzy around here. Wait, no. I'm still not sure how this goes because there's 2 sections of track there. I think maybe I put this end set of points in the wrong place. Either that or what's actually happened here is I'm looking at 2 different photos and they have changed. It like the layout sort of slightly changed at one point, which is possible. Yeah, the tracks definitely bend a little bit IRL. Good night, Lysander. Okay, so like, it's getting a little bit confusing here. I think what I do know is I think there's probably another double track. And what we have next is the docks, right? And actually what I will do for the docks, just to represent them, is because they are 2 tracks that are 1.5 long. Now that's going upside down. That should not happen. Okay. Rotate. Oh wow, this has gotten a little bit funky where everything is now... I'm just going to fix this so that it doesn't keep making an issue for me. Things going upside down. Don't know what I did there. Lincoln snap. Come on, there we go. So this is the docks. And the docks, what I'm pretty sure happens next after the docks is we have a set of straight tracks. And of course, in real life, these bits of docks are like elevated slightly and the tracks are on a slight downward curve. Because it always makes things more difficult in CGI, I always ignore that elevation change. Now, what's next, right, is you know how in PlayRail you have that, it's that track that's like basically got no actual tracks in it and the big switch in the middle? I don't have that, so I'm going to represent it with this, just the end switch, because it kind of does the same function, except it's not unidirectional. And then after, oops. After that, I think what's happening next is 5, and then probably this and this. Whoops, snap that. And this is looking like it's sort of coming around to where it needs to be. Just rotate this around A. Yeah, you can see that it's not going to quite line up. There's probably half straight somewhere. Yeah, actually what I can see on this is it actually does look like there's a half straight before this, but that would just push it even further out. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Have to look into that in a little bit more detail afterwards. What do I have of Vickerstown? I don't think I have very good stuff over there. What I'm going to do for Vickerstown is duplicate this and go down like that. it looks like we've got some half straights here based on this very blurry image. So I'll chuck them in. And then I know for a fact that we've got an end switch. I'm gonna take that and it's gonna go here, I think, and then we'll just flip it on, no, rotate it on B. Oh well. That was weird. Snap. Can this, oh, come on. There we go. Now, how, if I open up some of the video that I have from Gordon Goes Foreign, probably should be able to figure out exactly what goes on here. Yes, we can figure it out. I know. No, I don't think it would connect directly into Knapford. I assume there is. I want to say that's a half straight, but it almost looks like a quarter straight. So let me see if I can just verify that in another bit of video. Basically, we're coming up to Vickerstown here, which is just another bit of like an extra Knapford that I had. Oh yeah, that's definitely a half straight. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. We'll grab some half straights. All right, so we know these are going to go here. And we also know that this is going to go... snap. There we go. And we also know, roughly, I've got another video clip here which shows me that I think there's just one. Yeah, okay. So there is one straight length here. So now we just got to sort of figure out where there's definitely some mistakes along here, and the length here is definitely going to be wrong to some extent. So I'm just going to, if we can just get this to all line up, and this should absolutely line all up, no issues, because this is just like a straight square bit of track. There's no reason for it to be out of line. Some of the other loops around, because they have like diagonals that aren't matched on the other side, like they won't come out perfectly, but this one absolutely should. So I'm just going to do a quick search through some of the old video clips and see what we can find. Really, it is a matter of just like, okay, I think the length is probably correct here, or maybe there's like some half straights in here, or maybe at the end there, because I'm pretty sure this is off by, it's off by a half straight. So there's definitely like a half straight somewhere. And I actually did see another half straight here. So it might be that this is wrong. There is the "we're going to town" clip. I suppose what I should do here, just to make this a little bit interesting for you guys, is let me just go and add a window capture to OBS so that you guys can actually see VLC Media Player. Oh, but it doesn't look like you can see the video clip, which is kind of weird. Oh, that's weird. All right, you can't actually see the video clip. I assume that's something to do with the way it's played. I really don't know. Oh, VLC video source? Wait. That's something I would have to specifically stream, I think. Capture mode, direct show. Stream? Next. Oh, okay, this is going to be some complicated thing. Never mind, never mind. I'll see if I can just find some clips just to work out exactly how this goes. Unless someone else wants to go trawling through all my old videos and figure out what I've done wrong here. All right, I've spent probably enough time on that right now. Let's go and add some stuff from over here. Oh, actually, this is, I can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. All right, let's get Thomas's layout done, Thomas's branch line. So we know that there is a curve and then there is a tunnel. That tunnel is one straight track long, and then it looks like I'm actually gonna turn off visible. It's time to move all this stuff over there. Is that the full length itself? I don't really. Ah. Okay, so this part of the set actually changed at one point. There's a couple of different versions of it. So the one that I'm looking at in this part of the image is a very simple, it just goes up like that and then it comes back around. It's just like a sort of a square. There is a version of it that sort of goes like that though, and it includes the little drawbridge thing, that little drawbridge that goes up and down. Let me minimize that one, I think. Let me keep the chat open. Thomas Theris has sent me a few DMs, so I'll see what he sent. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could just easily stream the raw footage. I'm assuming you mean on Twitter. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, he sent me some stuff. Oh, that is a pretty good shot there. See, this guy knows my stuff quite clearly. That is a very good shot, and that does help sort of. I will go find the original of that. That must be so early. Thomas Theris, what is that shot of the yard with no ballast in it from? That must be from like one of the 2014 shots, one of the really early ones. Did you see that one image of a Buckman shell on the TOMY body? I don't think I have seen it. Do I have multiple pictures of this layout? Oh no, okay, no, it didn't curve like that. But the bridge is definitely in it there. All right, all I need to really figure out is how long this is. I'm just gonna take a wild guess. It looks like it goes. Whoop. Now this is Alt S, Alt R, Alt G, snap. Gotta put visible on. A Steven review video has a tour of your layout. Good catch, Mr. Lego Man. All right, yeah, that I will have to go and take a look of, and also probably some of the stuff in that accidents will happen thing. Now this goes 1, 2, 3. At least, and there might be another straight bit here, I'm not sure. And then we need some curves. Lincoln snap that. Seems a little bit wider than I remember, but... And I want to say what's happening next is we've got two... So what's happening here is there's a tunnel here, there's a station here, and in some of it, there is that drawbridge here, but it just depends on... I think the drawbridge came later. Is this your face reveal? I haven't been keeping up with you lately. Oh, no. My face reveal was 2015, 7 years ago now. Ah, the live stream with with Psychic Jason, Enterprising Engine 93, and Percy Engine. I believe the quality was super crap though. That's a good idea though. It might give me. Actually, you know what? It was the quality was so crap you probably couldn't even really glean that much off it. What I do know is there is one of these at the end of this. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, so there must be an extra straight piece here. Link and snap. I think it's here. Oops. Okay. Is this really gonna... Yeah. Okay, so because there is a diagonal here, I don't think this is going to quite line up properly. It's just the way it kind of is. You know, hypotenuse of a triangle and all that sort of stuff that you would have learned in school. Is actually supposed to be happening here. So this is, I think it's Elsbridge. You know, there's that Elsbridge with a section of road. Obviously, I don't have any road sections, so. But there is an Elsbridge there, and it looks... Yeah, even this doesn't quite line up, because it definitely looks like there's like 2 bits of track here, and then the Elsbridge, I think, is like 1.5 long. That doesn't quite work out either. And how far off are these, by the way? 7 centimeters. Okay. So a quarter straight length won't even sort of help fix that. A little irritating, but that's that, I'm afraid. I think that live stream is probably, it's either private or unlisted. I don't really remember. Sometimes I like to go and clean up the live streams. Although I would have thought that it would be there. I don't know. All right, so this leads to the yard. Oops, flip B. Oh no, rotate B. What we're going to here is where Toby's shed was. So I want this one, I'm pretty sure. Rotate on B, and... Alright, so this here is Toby's shed. This is what that is here. And it wasn't one of these red buffers. It was actually a... It was one of the... it wasn't an orange buffer. It was one of those red TOMY ones that sticks on the end of the track. Now over here there is a siding. Now this siding has it doesn't use this turnout. It uses the turnout that you get with the big Thomas, where it basically, rather than it going off to one side, that both sets of points diverge evenly. But I don't have that. I don't have that piece, so I'm just gonna do this. It's close enough, like, you know, it's the same gist. If I do a tour video for the layout, maybe I'll make it. I don't know. Okay, so I actually think what's going wrong with here is I think I have to invert the up axis on this. I think, yeah, that's probably gonna work better now. It's a bit more of a Y switch, yeah. Well, yeah, basically it's a two-way Y switch. Now, fortunately, I do have a really good picture of this section of the layout. This horrible section where it's all a jumbled mess and it's going to cause problems for us later, but that's okay. Which is the quarry. Now, the reason I have these pictures of the quarry, I think, is because I had to pull it up at one point. So that it looks different in that one there. What I don't know though is exactly how long the track is here, but I think it's a double. We'll see. Ooh, that seems quite close. So what I should do here is, rotate it along B. And then snap that here, and snap that here. And if I grab this one and snap it here. Yeah, I guess that's roughly what's going on here. Rotate around B. We need another... Oh, whoops. Okay. Did not mean to steal that bit of track. This is taken a little bit longer than I thought, but we should be able to finish this one set. But that's okay. We can always do another stream another time to look at some of the other sets. I think that's not going to be an issue. All right, now let me go to this one. That's definitely different. This is another one of these issues where the layout has actually changed at some point. It would have been to do with like availability of certain switches, I think. So gonna get a half straight, and I'm gonna put it there, and then we're gonna do this here, and another one here, and rotate it around B. And this is another siding here. Oh wait, this isn't. Okay, because I've done it according to a different design. Full Dream Ahead has some pretty useful shots. Oh, okay, maybe I'll look into that a little bit more. Yeah, so what we've got next, coming up next, and it does get a little bit funny here. Actually, I do think this is probably the right orientation, now that I think about it. Yes, it is. Okay. So what's coming up here is that weird quarry piece with like the conveyor belt. And I believe because of some of the difficulties I had with certain switches, you know, I was using the male-female inverter thing at some point, and yeah, it gets a bit confusing, honestly, as all of the stuff that I do. You know, it's great when you're working with CGI because you always have the right pieces, you never run out of pieces, and if you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't have the right piece, well, you know, like, oh, that's no problem at all. You just, you know, you just go and, you just go and make a custom piece to fit the set. Why is this now not working? What is the orientation of this? Okay. Annoying, but... Now, next up, we have... I actually do remember now what the problem was. I think it was actually to do with the availability of these R switches. That's what... This area was actually a bit more stuffed up at one point. What is it that I would like to have? I want this. Oops, no. Wait, why isn't this working? Snap. This is B and this is okay. These tags are wrong, I'm pretty sure. Oops. Link. Oh. Ah! I'm really stuffing it up now. This is far more entertaining to watch than anticipated. I'm all for it. Oh, thank you, Junction Malfunction. I hope I'm not being too boring here. So, this is an exciting thing, right? Because so far I've been like, oh, this is where Netfit is, but I don't actually have that piece. But what we're coming up to here, I do actually have a model of. This is the triple sheds, which Toby, Percy, and Henry sometimes slept at. So, whoops. I'll just open this up here. No offense, guys, but I don't want to expose my entire file directory to you. So I'm just going to very briefly turn off Blender and link the 3 sheds. Yeah, where are they going to be actually? Infrastructure. Okay, so we've got engine shed. Let's link that in. Yep. All right. Here we go. So I should just be able to put that there, rotate it, and look at that. Haha. Let's see, 10.75 divided by 2, 1. Yeah, I think that should be roughly it. Whatever. We'll just do that. Close enough. There you go. An actual location is in this. Look, Alex, Duck is definitely the next character that I will make if I make a character. Okay, so there we go. That is our good. Whoops. That is the sheds. It's so great to be able to do that. Okay, so we got another straight bit here, and then there is a tunnel here. This is the tunnel that Duck is hiding in, where he gets Mavis. And what actually follows here is a bunch of like the most random pieces of track just to try, because there's literally like a set of points here in one of these photos just to make up the straight section, because I ran out of bits. Is this gonna snap? Hello? What's going on here? Oh, my bad. Was that a custom shed? No, this is an Ertl shed. There's nothing custom about this. It's an Ertl shed. It comes with a turntable. Now, how long this is? Yeah, again, it really is probably based on how long all of this sort of stuff is. All right, so we are getting there. We are getting there, very much so. But again, it is going to come down to the specific lengths that we having some difficulty figuring out, but we'll see. So if we put that in like that, well, this is definitely further over than that, but it probably depends on this. So 21.5 and 21.5. Nope. My guess is going to be That is probably it. That looks approximately right. Never seen me using my software before? Oh, well, it's time for something different. So, Brian, there's not going to be any engines on the tracks in this live stream, unfortunately. I did want to be able to do that for you guys, but getting the engines to run requires a bit of setup. I used to be able to automate a lot of that setup, but of course my plugins don't work and I'd have to like fix them. And one of the things that really tripped me up is actually Blender completely changed the way it sort of handles linking and overriding armatures, and that sort of messed up a whole workflow for me. So there will obviously be trains running in the video that I intend to do, but it's going to require more setup that I just can't really do on a live stream. It's always been DieselD199. If anything, I should have changed it. Junction malfunction. So yeah, it should all. If like I've got like the old way it used to be linked on YouTube is it was youtube.com/user/ and I've got DieselD199 there. Hank, the funniest tugboat. There's no Tomy Thomas and Friends shorts currently in production. Is my answer to that question. All right. So what I want to do over here, right? Thomas there is sending me some good shots. But that doesn't clear things up that much. Yeah, I would like to get some engines running on the layout, but you're going to have to wait for the video for that. Just make a normal Tomy Thomas and Friends shorts without Soda Fallout parody. You didn't like the Soda Fallout parody? Wait, you copied my channel link and it doesn't say DieselD199? It depends. If you actually go youtube.com and then go at like ampersand DieselD199. How did you come up with the, you know, it was literally a process of elimination. All the good characters' names were taken. That's literally all it was. There's nothing more interesting to it than that. All right, I'm going to open up that shot of Rusty. What's it called again? Diesel's Ducks and Demons. Images. Where is that shot of Rusty? Over here. Even that's not really as... Oh, it doesn't really... That's not as good as I would like it to be. I'm gonna go and look at that Steven video to Trackmaster Steven. Okay, so this is... I do think that this has all been done right. I think that there's probably... Okay, that's... Maithwaite looks right, but maybe there was an extra straight bit there for Maith. So that, I guess it was supposed to be Wellsworth, I don't really remember. Okay. I think the best thing to do is start to figure out how big all this area over here should be. Have you ever made an OC before? Like a character to sort of represent me? No, not really. Would you ever make a short about Thomas meeting his past self to try and stop him from swearing while not trying to get blown up? I don't think so, Daniel. Do you remember the TCC? Yeah, of course I remember the TCC. Do you know why they ceased making videos since 2019? Yeah, I do know. The TCC ceased making videos because the contract with Mattel was not renewed. It's really that simple. There's nothing more. Ooh, that's going to be a bit difficult there. There's nothing more complicated to it than that. Mattel decided they didn't want to renew the contract, so that was that. And then they went and made those other weird videos with some trucks. Maybe there's some. They went and made those other weird videos, you know, with toys and like kids playing with them or whatever. You know how it went. I do have this video here. It just makes it all look right. Deciphering this is going to be difficult, no doubt. All right, I know what I want to do. I'm just going to quickly look at the Diesel Ducks and Demons image. Should be able to finish. I should be able to figure this out. I know this is kind of annoying that I'm. Oh, and even that doesn't have it in there. I think it's like we've basically got to get the layout done for the narrow gauge engines. So what I am going to do is start working on that. We're just gonna let me open the chat back up, and we're just gonna start working on that. Now I know that this is like this, and it was probably upgraded at some point, honestly. Doesn't really matter where this is because we're just gonna connect it all later on. And then negative. There's not even any buffers. So this is the narrow gauge sidings, and I think this is going to be where the coat shed went. But I don't think it was ever built. Now I know for snap. Oh, again. Okay, this is not. It should be B. It should be this. Oops. What is actually happening here is we've got one of these adapters. That goes there. Oh, didn't snap. So there's an adapter, and then there is a half straight, which I'll grab from here. And then there is a set of points, and it's going to be whichever set of points is going to connect into that, which is going to be this one. So that goes like so. And then we rotate it around the B section of track. There's actually 3 lines for the narrow gauge next to the docks. One of the H tracks is there too. Yes, there is. Yeah, I can see that on this map. Can you have someone else be the main character? Who would you like to be the main character, Trackmaster Disaster? Now, coming off of this set is the half straight turntable, and this is where things get a little bit more difficult, it's that Y points. Now, because in this case it is consequential, we're just going to have to replicate it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Like the positioning of the track for the Y points is consequential, so I'm just going to do that. Well, actually, no, I don't. So it's going to be 21.5 times -1, and then it's going to be over by 3. Oops. Wait. That should do it. And then it looks, is that just one? Yeah, it's got to be like double tracks there, I think. Link and snap. Link and snap. And then we have the other. We have, wait a second. Oh, that's correct. Okay. This one. Link and snap to here. Oh, okay. That really messed up. Rotate on A. So this then goes on to form, goes on to the hill. There's an elevated part of the narrow gauge line, and the other section just goes straight on to a curved section of track. Snap. Come on. Like so. If you had to model one Scarloey engine, which you probably will have to, who would it be? I don't know. Mighty Mac is interesting. Would you scale him down? Not on this set, but I have thought about like sort of scaling down the narrow gauge engines. Honestly, I think that instead of doing TOMY narrow gauge engines, I should just make them all wooden railway and have wooden railway track instead. Then I wouldn't have to do any scaling down. And then we want one of these H points. So we've got another H point here. We're going to rotate it around A. So 21.5. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is giving us somewhat of an idea. So what happens at the end of this bit here is there is a balloon loop. And I assume there was a set of buffers at the end of this track here. I'm sure I can, whoops. You can see that, oh no. There's another H points here. Yeah, so here is the red balloon loop, which lets the engines like go back around. That's what is here. Now, obviously it doesn't fit here, and that's because this is nowhere near far enough over. But that is fine. We will just select all of this and move it over like this, which does make me actually think that this length is probably closer to being accurate, and it's this one that's wrong, because there's no way that balloon loop's going to fit in there otherwise. We will figure all this out in due time, right? Like this is how we get things figured out, by just going straight into it, and over time it'll all become clear how it all fit together in the end, I think. Hey Eddie Studios, thanks so much for saying that, and I hope you continue to watch them, provided that I continue to make them. Z 6.6. I do wonder how they came up with some of these dimensions, I guess. Now, the way this goes, I believe that we have a half straight here. And then we have a double straight. Click. How is that? What is going on here? Okay, there is that Christmas shot. Which also does not explain at all what is happening there. Oh no, that is a half straight, yeah. Oh, that's what's happening there. Okay, that makes sense now. Rotate around A, does that do it? Yeah, okay. So we go down, and then we need some straights. We're making progress, we are making progress. And then we want one of these. Snap, wait, what's going on here? Why is that not snapping? Oh. Gotta put the right section there, and then we'll rotate around C. You know what mistake I made on this? I should have been using. There's a really great reference image editor that I use for like 3D animation, and it's really good for having a whole bunch of pictures on the screen at once. And I should have put all of these into that, but I didn't. Make it so much easier to navigate. I didn't even think to do it, honestly. But then I didn't really anticipate having this much difficulty doing it. I think that this is just a double straight, honestly. And then it gets a little bit complicated because what happens here is this goes around like so. I think there is a double straight here. Or maybe it's 1.5, might be 1.5. There is an H track, which one is the right one? I think this one is duplicate snap. There's a station here as well, not that you ever really saw it. I'm gonna say that this is 1.5, probably. Can't really see it that well, honestly. If there's any good shots of that, that would be useful, but I don't think there is, honestly. Eddie Studios, I have one line in the Magic Railroad parody. You're gonna have to Google what a balloon loop is after I leave. So actually in this section I use the flexi track And I have modeled the flexi track, but it's a little bit difficult to sort of like put in place. So yeah, I don't have it here. Now, if I do it on this and I go down by like 1, it's got to at least be 1.5 based on my reading of this. That doesn't match at all here, and there's definitely a straight bit of track. I'm not sure where I've made the mistake. That definitely looks like a double straight. It goes up and around. Good night, Mayo. All right. So this has all worked out reasonably well. What's going on here, I'm not entirely sure. I do know that this is just going to be some more of that. That goes like that. So we are nearly there. We're getting there. There's a little bit of confusion about where certain things go, I think. But if we persist, I think we will be able to sort of put the rest of this together. Okay, I think in order to sort of figure out some of this, I need to focus on getting this section here figured out. Now, I did get sent a good image by Thomas Theorist of this yard when there wasn't even any ballast in it. But that still doesn't cover... Oh, okay. Wait a minute. That is interesting. So it looks like this here actually needs to be shifted. Whoops, I've got something I'm not supposed to. 10.75. Right, okay. So there's supposed to be a half straight there. That might have been a detail that I overlooked beforehand. Now let's go to Trick or Treat, images. Actually, you know what might be worth looking at is actually Deus Ex Machina. I think there were some good shots in that, but I will have to... Oh, perhaps not. Perhaps not. All right. Let's go back to Trick or Treat. Originals. And we're looking for the scene, the very end of Trick or Treat, where Thomas and Percy are hiding at the docks, and the Slender engine appears in the yard and then gets dragged away by Sam. So there are some good yard shots in there, including from Thomas and Percy's perspective. And if I'd just taken some proper photographs of this would be so much easier. Ah, dearie me. Where the flip is that shot that I want? Now I'm... Oh, I see what's happened here. I think. I think I know what's happened here. I think this is supposed to be in line with this, and then... No, that still doesn't make any sense. How certain am I that there was a three-way switch here? I mean, there definitely seems to be in one of the shots, but then it's not in the other one. There's definitely a three-way switch here. And there's definitely, like, over here. So this is probably one of those things. Yeah, okay, this is going to be one of those things where the set probably changed at some point. These, I'm pretty sure, are all supposed to connect with the three-way switch with this. So if I take that over to here... Now, they don't properly connect for reasons. But I definitely think that they did at one point. So I think that if we snap it to say, oh, now it's upside down, rotated around D. Yeah, you can see it doesn't properly fit together. We could probably just fudge it a bit by, wait, Lincoln snap. Ah. Oh, again with this. Yeah. What we could do is like basically take this and then just sort of like move it so that it technically fits together, because that's basically where it gets stuffed up. And I would suspect that the distance here would be a sort of predictable amount. It wouldn't be like an uneven amount. But we'll leave that for now. And I can see pretty clearly that from here on out we got like 43. Let's see if we can see where this sort of loops around here. There's definitely going to be like probably another couple of these. What's surprising is like this, you know, this is kind of a small set, I guess, like compared to sort of CGI stuff, but there's still a lot of dead spots in it. I think this goes to sort of here. I really do think that probably somewhere along here I've gotten this number wrong, and that should be further over. So all there is left is this loops around here, goes through a three-way points with the shed, the Vickerstown shed, and then loops up to there. And then it's how this all exactly fits together is the other thing. So really, this should just, you know, this would be like approximately here. Here is where it goes. But you do get a fairly decent idea of the whole layout. I think this has to be further over. I did get sent some other pictures that might help me figure out exactly what went wrong there, but all right. So I've been sort of like, you know, tapping away, trying to like figure some of this stuff out now. So I'll take some time to answer some questions. It is one, I streamed for 2 hours now, which is about as long as I was planning on doing it. But I'm going to grab some water. If you guys want to post any pertinent questions that you have, I'll answer them when I come back. All right, let's take a look at what we've got. Where do you get the 3D play rail track from, Aiden? I make it. I've made all my track. I'm not going to share the 3D models though. Maybe I will one day, but I see all the issues that happen with sharing trains models. I'm not a brony, Isaac. Never went to the water store, never coming back. No, I'm back. I've got my water. You gonna make Knapford Station? Well, over here. Oops. I've got the couple of bits that I need to make a basic play rail or TOMY Knapford Station, and I think I will make that for if I do this 360-degree video, because it's fairly simple to make these pieces. I'm not gonna make all of the locations. I'm not gonna make like the freaking like the coal hopper and the wash. The washdown, but yeah, I might make the Knapford stuff. Could you make a tutorial of how to make the track? No, probably not. I don't do 3D tutorials. I've never played Overwatch Australian. Playrail items are your favorite? That's interesting. I'd have to really think about that. I couldn't honestly tell you off the top of my head. I've always liked Knapford. Like, I think it was always a really great piece. It's much better than Tidmouth. For example, I mean the Big Thomas is a great piece in my opinion. So there's that, and it was the first one that I got, so you know it's kind of got a special place in my heart. Will you ever do a 3D computer remake of Dirty Objects? Dirty Objects would be a fun one to do, Ryan. Why is Thomas a jerk? Well, I wanted to make him different in my series, Trackmaster Disaster. And that's why he is a jerk. Because he's the star of the show. Will you post a picture of the finished layout on Twitter or somewhere? It'll probably be in the 360-degree video if I can get around to doing that this month. Remake the scene of Percy shoving Thomas under the coal hopper. That would be quite difficult to do, Daniel, because I'd have to do a physics simulation and it would involve a lot of coal. How would you make it? Model Brendam, Bigger Cranky, 3 lines, Big Mickey, Carly, or will it be CGM Model Series Brendam? Well, I actually bought one of those giant remote control crankies with the intention of making that the CGI model Thomas Theorist, but it just never happened, so... Who inspired you to make Thomas content? Actually, no one inspired me to make Thomas content. I started making Thomas content before I knew other people were making Thomas content. That's how old I am. I wanted to make videos by myself, and I'd given like Lego stop motion a try, but that was so slow to do. And my younger brother at the time, he's like 8 years younger than me, he was watching Thomas, like he was at the time, like he was into it, and he was like in that, you know, that age demographic. And I picked out one of his DVDs one night and like put it on. I was like, oh, you know, maybe I could do some like Thomas the Tank Engine videos. And here we are, a horrible amount of time later. Why didn't you include all the characters on CGI? Because it takes too long to make. Gordon was terrified of Twilight Sparkle. That's why he hit Twilight Sparkle. So let me... I think, like, for certain this would have to be further over. I know this doesn't all fit together, and I would like it to fit better together. But... let me see. Is there anything really to fix up? I mean, this is the general gist of all of this. I would suspect that if we took out this here, we take this, whoops, here, Actually, you know what might help here? I'm guessing this is 10.75. Okay, yeah, so there's like an extra half straight here. If I go to the world origin and we actually no. Let me make the ground selectable. Oh, can I actually just edit the values here? Okay, let's make it 4. Alright, by 3. Oh, wait, what? Could have sworn that room was 4 by 3. 100 by 400. No, okay, that wasn't the dimensions of the room then, and that doesn't help at all. And given that that is done, what we can probably do, if I can find some good reference for it. What I'll probably do to sort of like finish this up before I do the 360 video is sit down and rewatch all of my videos that were made on this set probably. And I'll probably be able to figure out exactly what went on here. But we know, for instance, that there is a single curve that sort of goes around like this. I need to go look at, again, Gordon Goes Foreign, because they had a lot of that Vickerstown stuff. Good old Gordon Goes Foreign. Flip A, whoops, nope, rotate A. And see, even this doesn't quite line up. But if I go and look it up, shot with Gordon at the back. Oh, so that curves straight away. Okay. Okay. I'll figure out how long the... okay. It must be like 1.5. How long the track under the shed is. It's got to be like 1.5 because... Oh, but it's... Yeah, it's supposed to sort of... That doesn't really work. It might be to do with how this is aligned, I guess. The buffers kind of come out the back of Vickerstown. Yeah. It does look like it's 2 straight bits long, honestly. Something like that. Oh no, that kind of matches up. So this goes, oh, well, that's silly. Actually, wait a minute. The whole order of these is out of whack anyway. It doesn't matter. Lincoln Snap. I don't actually know what this looks like here, but... So my guess would be... Because I know that there is another half straight here. I've seen it. $10.75. Oh, that way. But that doesn't quite work either. And then, yeah, this is going to have to move over by quite a bit. I can clearly see that there's at least 2 of these here, even if this is potentially a half. There is probably... Wait, what's going on here? Oh yeah, that's... Oh, okay, that's a little weird. Yeah. I think there's an extra straight bit there. This broadly speaking makes sense to me, in my opinion. So really we should just be able to just put that all the way up. And I mean, if we snap this here, we need to rotate around A, snap it here, you know. Now, obviously, once again, because of this diagonal, this is a sort of an unconformity. It doesn't quite match up there. And now this was just sort of like anywhere all over the place type thing, because it wasn't connected to the rest of the layout except by, there's like a station thing here in between. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. I know that there is the flexi track there. All right, so this more or less gives you an idea of the layout. I know it's obviously not perfect. There's a few gaps in it. I don't think there's any sidings or anything missing. Maybe just like the precise nature of how long some of these bits are. I'd probably spend a little bit of time just going through stuff, and I should be able to figure most of it out. And then I'll be able to, yeah, do like a 360-degree tour of the layout. But you guys basically know the gist of the set now. You could definitely approximate it quite easily. There's all sorts of... There's a few bits and pieces that changed over time. I am absolutely hopeless with the grease pencil in this. So look, one of the things you do need to know is this is where the balloon loop is. So the track goes like this, but I haven't made that piece. Obviously this is all connected. At one point in time, this track went something like this. And it was to do with the fact that I was missing, I didn't have enough straight pieces. So if you look at the opening to Diesel's Ducks and Demons, I think it is, as Thomas goes along his branch line, you'll notice that he goes through a curve in the track there. This area also changed a little bit. The layout was originally more complicated to accommodate certain switches. It doesn't really matter. You guys get like the basic gist of it all, though. Again, I think that there was a couple of different ways in which this was organized at various points in time. There was a point in, if you look in the trick or treat short, you'll notice that, for example, the way this actually goes, and in fact, it would actually make more sense to do it this way now that I think about it. So let's get out of this. It makes more sense to do it this way because it connects up better. What am I doing? Straight up, this just goes like this. Oh, there might be like a half straight there then instead. That basically just is a dead end. It ends in a siding in front of the docks. And then this over here is this, right? So you can see how that doesn't, that sort of gets rid of one of these sort of unconformities, I guess. I don't know the precise spacings of the track here. I imagine if I look at, yeah, there's just these little bits of the set that just never really got that much focus. And of course, it's not that in this one. But yeah, that's just one alternative of where the set kind of changed over time. But yeah, I think that gives you the overview. Where did the turntable and the sheds go? So the turntable and sheds, the turntable is here. And then, like, you know, there's the 5 berths of Tidmouth sheds. That's where the turntable and sheds go. And so This here is the washdown. This here is the coal hopper and water tower. There's stations here, here. There's Henry's tunnel is here. This is supposed to be like Crovan's gate here. There is a stations here and also here. I think that is pretty much it. So yeah, that's the overview of it. And of course, this is Knapford. Okay, for Knapford. This is Vickerstown. This is the main yard. You know. There's Elsbridge Station here. And there's an alternative station here. And yeah, on some of it there's like a drawbridge sort of situation going on. There's a tunnel here as well, which I guess is the one Thomas goes through and then gets stuck. Oh, and Farquhar Station is here. Can you give us some classic shots from the layout? Oh, so let's actually sort of like go down, I guess, and we can explore it a little bit. Maybe once I sort of finish putting it together and throw down some ballast and all that. You know, obviously, like this is the view of the big Thomas here. I don't know how we lost the one of the gantries. Let me just put that back. Negative. There we go. Put that back there. What about the windmill? The windmill was like over here, like this curve here. I'm pretty sure that's where the windmill goes. So that's the windmill there. Of course, this was that quarry loader set thing. Yeah, I'm not sure how to really represent it. Toby's shed is obviously here. The idea is that these were going to be sort of like the narrow gauge sheds, and this would be like the narrow gauge coach sheds. But that was never built. There's obviously a shed here as well, one next to Vickerstown. This should all be actually a little bit closer together, probably like offset by maybe like a quarter straight, something like that, because the shed was butting right up next to Vickerstown. This is obviously the docks, Brendam docks. There was a little shed here too, which was off my spare docks. Do you ever try to remake the toy's face before the first CG shot? I did, Daniel, and not with very much success. So you're not the fan of where I put Toby's shed? Oh, well, I guess I could put it like over here, because this is the suspension bridge here. This is very kind of middle of nowhere. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I needed sightings. I had so many trucks and stuff I wanted to store. And so you do get the idea of this is that there's 5 loops. So you can have 5 trains running at once and they will not run into one another. Right? So you've got 1 and 2, and then you've got the 3 that goes all the way around there, and then you've got 4 and 5. So yeah. I have heard about Choo Choo Charles. I'll probably do a stream of it when it comes out, Everent. Can you make an episode about Timothy giving Thomas his demon? Maybe someday. So yeah, that is the layout. That is the entirety of the layout. I hope that gives you guys a real insight into what this layout looks like. And I hope you guys don't... I'll stop being asked for pictures of it. Clearly, there are not enough pictures of it to really put it all together properly. I'll troubleshoot it later. And then hopefully I'll be able to do a nice 360-degree video of this. So, you know, you guys can sort of experience it. You'll be able to look around, and Thomas will take you on a little tour with some other engines running about. I'll do some nice scenery, you know, put some trees in, actually sculpt up the hills here. And instead of having walls, it'll just, you know, fade off into the void. So, Thomas Remakes 55, this is the final layout before I switch to CGI. Could you keep this unlisted? Oh, I'm not going to set this to private, so this will just stay up on the channel. The last stream I set to unlisted because it was a total stuff up. This, I feel I've more or less achieved what I wanted to do. You know, as I said, there's a few little issues here and there, but you know, you get it. Oh, this is a turntable. This was the half-size turntable. Poor Duke. He didn't have a full-size turntable. Let me grab some half straights, I guess. Lincoln snap, put that over here. Yeah, I can probably put together a playlist of the past live streams, but I'm going to call it a night. It's 1:21 a.m. in the morning where I live. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. And yeah, maybe I'll do some more of these live streams in future if you guys want me to, because, well, you know, there's plenty of other layouts I can go through, and maybe one day we'll build a much bigger layout, you know, of the island of Sodor. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. It means a lot that you guys still like turn up to see my live streams, even though I haven't posted that much content, and hopefully I will have some more stuff for you soon. Merry Christmas, if I don't see you between now and Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Good night.